to make a split-second decision on whether to take a life to save their own. They won't have the nightmares. They won't have the guilt of wondering, what if I handled things differently? They won't have the panic attacks that come from thinking that if they hadn't acted at the right moment, they wouldn't be around to contemplate their stress. Those are the lucky ones. My job is to make sure they never need to rely on luck, because eventually, luck runs out. So I have to illustrate a point for my students. Sometimes that means bruising the ego of a man twice my size, who almost became a pro wrestler. Feelings heal with time. Not all scars do. I picked on Cortland precisely because he was the largest target. He has the bearing of a person who's never lost a fight. He probably hasn't been in many because people give him a wide berth. There are stories about Cortland disarming suspects without having to draw his gun. He once punched an armed suspect so hard, they smashed a plate glass window with the back of their skull. The FBI hired him because he had been justified in every case. He could have shot the guy he punched through a window. The man isn't a bully. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. But he is overconfident. And other students looking at a man like Cortland might take the wrong lesson from him, that size matters. This can lead to self-doubt, which can lead to fatal mistakes. I asked Cortland to come to the front of the small auditorium and had him stand in front of me. What I did to him was a magic trick, disguised as an awareness exercise. I told him it was the slap game, where we try to anticipate when one player is about to slap the back of the other player's hands. Moments before, I'd finished explaining that you should never let your suspect determine the rules of engagement. They'll never write them in your favor. As Cortland stood before me, I reached out and pulled him closer by grabbing his wrists. He didn't see the handcuffs. Nobody did. They were up my sleeve until the moment I put them on his wrists. Like I said, it was a magic trick. But to Cortland and the students watching, it was a miracle. The powerful man stood there, looking down at his wrists, as a woman almost a foot shorter than him and half his weight rendered him incapacitated, or at least restricted enough that I could do more harm to him than he to me. It was a humiliating experience. And like every other time I've done that demonstration, I knew the real lesson would happen when he challenged me to do it again. "Instructor Blackwood," Cortland, now uncuffed, says in a polite yet irritated voice. "I don't suppose you can try that handcuff trick on me again." He's standing opposite the table from me, and from his vantage, can see over the top of my open briefcase. I'm packing up my notes, seemingly caught off guard. In truth, I'm never off guard anymore. I sleep with a loaded gun under my pillow and a shotgun under my bed. The handcuffs from the demonstration lie in my briefcase, gleaming in the overhead lights. Cortland sees this. Everyone sees this. If I ask for a moment to get ready, it'll look like a sign of weakness. My previous demonstration will seem like a trick, not a real-world lesson. I need to look as if I've thought of everything. "I'm sorry?" I say, as I move to shut my case. He nods at the closed briefcase. "Can you try that again on me?" Cortland has been running through the incident over and over in his mind, trying to figure out how I got the better of him. He finally decided he simply wasn't prepared. He was right. I lean forward on my closed case. I caught him off guard before and was able to bring his wrists together before he realized it. Now he won't let me do that. He's too strong. I have to get him to do it for me. Which